So I just caught this after being downstairs doing the trim work on the door, and it stopped raining, but this is definitely not blowing in. It's coming in from up there. It's creeping in under. There's looks like a wet spot that's already long since dried, but it's creeping in here and then dripping straight down. I'll go in front. So that was kind of gushing out. It's not really taking all the water that accumulates at that point. It's overflowing, and then it just shoots out in this way or that way, but there's a bunch of debris. There's also a sponge-like thing there that may be filled with silt. So yeah, if it's not up there the leak is, then it's down here somewhere. When the water flows heavily, then I would tarp that for the time being. At least stop that from coming in. All right, so last year, the underside of this was very wet, and that's because of what was done up behind that retaining wall in front of the house, which is at the bottom part of a swale. Water was collecting in a pool here when it should have been running off into a drainage system outside that way, but it wasn't, because this whole area was wet by mid-season, if not sooner, last year. Now then, this year, to see what effect that had, very good. And as expected, you're never going to get everything, though the other side of this retaining wall was also sloped accordingly because it was also pushing water in towards the house and has been since scaped away from and terraced in a stylish fashion. But there's a little bit more to do. Something's not right here. In which case, remember all that was pooled right there, dripping out of the door and from up here. So what's happening here is capillary action. That's showing what was happening outside. Majority of the water is infiltrating here. Needs to be stopped from the outside. And when you know it, even though the water is only creeping and holding at bay, in the bay, before migrating further downward, potentially into the wall, one can assume, is that there is 14 pounds per square inch of ambient air pressure pressing down on all of us, right? For every square inch, there's 14 pounds of air pressure being held. And so when water collects like this, it doesn't just sit there and pool or go downwards, because where you get tight joists and things that are like tightly fit, that 14 pounds of pressure is enough to raise water 14 feet, right? 14 pounds per square inch. That water will migrate up if it has nowhere else to go or it's slowed down. Either way, it's a process that's constantly in effect. In which case, and it's not evaporating into the air, it's actually migrating into seams, going up along until it dries out, until the balance between the air pressure and the water flow is homogenized. So that issue needs to be dealt with from the outside. And have yet to check the actual very bottom to find out how far this has migrated. garage roof. Going to the atrium next. Make sure that's clear. There's definitely a lot there. And as I work my way over that way, we got more pools of water awaiting. And that's just that top of the roof. There's another over beyond that edge on the other side of this water. Gotta love it. Well, hi there. Coming to watch me work? Or listen to me work? Because you probably can't see me up here. Made it over from the garage area over the causeway. Cleared that out. Lots of debris on both sides collected. And definitely looking all right on this side, but it needed cleaning. Here we come to the moment of truth. So we've got a cooling area over there, really nice. That'll find a way in if it can. Over here near their chimney is also a water infiltration issue, which is going on for years on end that nobody can figure out. This keeps happening, and it's gonna keep happening. Why do you think that is? I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. But for sure, that's a blockage. This is certainly blocked. Really nice. And yeah, this is what's been making its way into the house currently. Blockage. That's a little better, but that's not. That's got to be turned around and go that way, and not just terminate down there, right? Clearly, temporarily speaking, because this is an immediate necessity, is to put a gutter trough. Just go buy a 10-foot one, or however long that span is, and get it off the roof. Because all the water that collects up here only has a few places to leave. There, over there, up on a high spot, and the main. You think that's enough? Oh, it ain't over yet, folks, because check this out. Look at that pool. That was like that last year, only there was a bunch of debris which had made a mound over there. That was like a bog. Now what you got here is beautiful. Mirror. In fact, I would love to turn this into a rice paddy. Doesn't need to be filled with water like that at all times, but you can hold it moist, and it's definitely protected from any critters that are going to come up and take your rice. But that's enough to feed the whole neighborhood. You can get 500 pounds of rice out of that. 2 yields. Balsam and wild rice. But yeah, they're gonna have some roofers come and fix all these issues, but I doubt if it's ever gonna be solved, really, because though they be masters of one, jacks of all trades know better and would go about this a whole different way. I'll make suggestions and see what the clients say. They usually like what they hear, whereas the so-called professionals, they poo-poo every solution to a problem. Go figure. It threatens their authority. As if this is about them. This is the clients. This isn't good, folks. It shouldn't be like this, and it's like this on a lot of roofs. As important as the foundation is to any living structure. And don't send your yard debris off to someplace else for someone else to make a profit off it. Strew it in your backyard, especially redwood. It's great for holding up soil and enriching it, especially when it's rainy season. This is your base. Again, start with a nice base. All that came from up there. Working that way. Because what we have left here, as you shall see, is the future rice paddy. What do you think of that? Love me some water and some trees. No such thing as waste. It's all reusable materials. All clear of redwood debris and other foreign matter. Just have that to take out. The gutter is cleaned out. It's now draining. This will all be gone once that is removed. And then you can figure out what to do later. Right now, just gotta make sure that stay ahead of the weather. And no matter which direction you're going, you're always pointed in the right direction.